Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a reading about unions that haven't come together because of lack of self-worth. All right, I was meditating today and Spirit was talking to me about unions that haven't come together because both counterparts are marrying each other and the fact that they're lacking self-worth. And it doesn't mean that it's total denial of self-worth. It's probably something that you're both working on. Okay, maybe you're at different levels, but maybe neither one of you have actually got there to your self-worth. So this is a collective reading, which means it's for all signs, and it's doesn't mean that it's everyone's reason for not having union, but Spirit was talking to me about specific souls, okay, individuals who are having lack of self-worth, and maybe you knew reunion was coming or union was coming. Maybe you felt it. Maybe you were on a high, like, doing things, eating right, taking care of yourself, having motivation, feeling really good, and then maybe union didn't happen or something happened, or you just one of you guys stopped, ghosted, something happened. Spirit is telling me about some of you, it's about self-worth. So, some of you might be saying negative things about yourself, focusing on the bad, not the good in your life. Not all the way, but maybe the majority of it, or 75% of it. Maybe some of you are, blaming yourself if something bad happens. Maybe you think other people are better than you. Maybe you don't feel that you deserve good things, okay? These are, some things that can represent lack of self-worth, not taking care of yourself and or loving yourself, right? And, you may find yourself needing to always prove yourself, right? Because you're trying to prove your self-worth, all right? And maybe you're letting others control you or control your outcome or determine your outcome. All of these things are lack of self-worth because you're giving your power away. Okay, if you're over 18, you're in charge of your world, okay? If you're living on your own, you're in charge of your world, okay? Nobody should have power over you, even if you're in a committed relationship, any relationship. Nobody should have that control, okay? Not parents, not anyone. And the sad thing is we attract karmics, okay? Or I shouldn't say attract, we bring these karmics into our life to teach us these lessons. So if we haven't learned our self-worth, we may have karmics who are actually helping our self-worth go down, maybe hollering at us, telling we're stupid, or just, always making us feel like we're always making the wrong decision. Just karmics will help us stay in that space because actually they're helping us learn a very valuable lesson about ourselves, that we eventually get tired of the abuse from the karmic. And I'm not talking about physical abuse. Nobody should stay with that, okay? Nobody should stay also with verbal abuse. Karmics love to emotionally manipulate, and a lot of them have narcissistic traits. When you first meet a karmic, it's like they'll love bomb you, they'll build up your ego, they'll stroke your ego so much, and then once they lock you in, they start acting like the true karmic that are supposed to be here to teach you this lesson, and they'll just start breaking you down, tearing you down, making you feel not worthy of them, however the karmic is supposed to behave in your life. So Spirit told me that you guys are some mirroring each other, that you haven't learned the lesson of self-value. So some of you are not in union because you have to learn this, and you're actually in karmic relationships or situations that are supposed to help you see your value and see your self-worth, all right? And when this happens, you're going to see, Spirit said everything's going to change in your life, just in general, okay? Some of you may experience union because, like I said, it has to be both of you have to learn this lesson. Just because one counterpart learns it doesn't mean the other one's learning it at the same time or at the same level of learning, okay? Usually one counterpart is a little ahead of the other one, okay? And it doesn't mean that when you learn these lessons that you'll even want union, because this is a whole nother thing. Once you realize your own true self-value, you may realize you don't need anyone else. And you'll also realize that union is only an illusion, because if it is your true divine counterpart, you're never in separation. You're just learning the lessons, okay? And in two different bodies. All right, so there's that. So I'm going to get into the reading. I'm going to see where I'm going to have your energies on the left over here, where you're at in your self-worth journey is what I'm going to call it. And I'm going to see where your counterpart is at in their self-worth journey. And just knowing that union does not always mean, okay, coming together, creating a family, living in the same house. Union doesn't always mean that. Okay, sometimes union means, yes, you forgive each other. You learn these lessons. You forgive one another if you treated one another badly. And maybe you have a really good friendship. Okay, let's think about different forms of union, because we are trained in this society that union and being with someone, it has to be in a physical connection. It has to be, we have to have children, we have to get married. Union doesn't always mean that for divine counterparts. It's a mission. It's different, and you don't know what your mission is. It may just be to learn these lessons and also forgive one another and heal and grow. So keep an open mind, because the ego construct has a lot to do with societal training. I'll give you an example. I grew up in a religious home. I grew up being taught you have to, you have to go to school and graduate. You have to get married. You have to have children. You have to do things in a certain order. I was raised in a very religious home that had these beliefs. And I was looked down on when, if my relationships didn't work out. As the female, I was always looked down upon. I had to break a lot of ego construct, okay? And that's really what this is, okay? This divine counterpart journey, some people call it twin flame journey. It doesn't matter. It's what you're here to do, what you're here to learn. It's always about you, your ascension to God, your ascension to source. Union, they say, yes, union happens. Absolutely. Doesn't mean it happens in this lifetime. That's why we are never supposed to wait. We are never supposed to be miserable, and we are never supposed to be in this lower level mindset. We are supposed to remember who our souls are so that we can ascend. So I'm going to, stop talking. This was what, came to me earlier. When I do my meditations, or when I attempt to do my meditations, I get a lot of downloads like this. So this is going to be for the ones who thought union was going to happen, and something may have triggered. Someone may be a runner chaser. I don't know. But if you are feeling or having, issues of lack of self-worth, this could be your reading, okay? This could be your journey, your story. Just keep an open mind. I don't know. I think you'll feel it if it's yours, you'll feel it. So I'm going to do your energy first, collective, and see where you're at on your self-worth journey. Give me some cards. Only take what resonates. Not every single card. If there's a card that resonates with you, you're like, that's me. Yeah, I do that. Then that part of the reading is for you. Not every single part of the reading may resonate, okay, for you. All right? I'm being told to mix them up again. So just keep that in mind, because several people are going to watch the reading. That one to come out. All right. Now I'm going to pull some cards for their energy, and then I'll bring all the cards out here. This is for the collective's counterpart. Where are they at on their self-worth journey? I have several other decks here. I have all the decks I was guided to use, so just starting off with this one. Where is the collective's counterpart? I can tell you right off the bat, they do want to make things right with you. So if that gives you any sort of, you know, solace. Any more? All right. Okay. Let's see what we got. It's interesting because some of you are mirroring each other, okay? Because it's like you got the Magician on the bottom of your deck. They got the Magician here that came out. And then they got the Empress on the bottom of their deck, which means it tells me they're thinking about you, okay? And you got the Empress. All right, so all right. So far from what I got here, you're a little ahead of them on your journey, okay? You're in the energy of taking your power back. We have the Empress here, all right? You're in the energy of loving yourself, okay? This is how I'm taking this. This is for you, collective, and your counterpart. Doesn't mean you're an Empress, but it does mean you're in the energy of loving yourself, okay? And that was one of the things, the steps to self-worth. You're in the energy of following spirit, following your intuition, okay? Seeking guidance, I would imagine, because we also have the Hermit here, all right? Now, when we're talking about divine counterparts, the Hermit is always dark night of the soul stuff. Now, you, with this High Priestess and with this loving yourself, you're in the dark night of the soul, but you're not out of it yet, okay? You're not out of it completely. Let me try and put this here. You're not completely transformed. We have transformation in reverse, and we have the Temperance in reverse. You're not completely there yet with the healing. And also with Temperance in reverse, it tells me something is bothering you when it comes to your transformation, all right? And maybe what's bothering you is maybe because this union didn't work out. I don't know. We got more cards I'm going to pull, but something, it tells me part of you finishing your self-love, your self-worth journey, part of finishing this up has to do with this, what this one thing is that's bothering you. Something that's bothering you. That's why Temperance is in reverse. This is it's like a last piece to the puzzle, and you just can't find it anywhere, or you know where it's at and you can't make it fit. We're going to find out what that is, because I feel like something's bothering you, and I just feel like what's bothering you is, I think that you were all geared up for union, and I just think that something keeps going on in your mind, or maybe you're even watching the person. I don't know. We'll get more into that. On your divine counterpart side, okay, they do want to make things right, and that was the first card out, so I think that's what they want you to know. And I'm just going to also, I want to say something real quick. If my camera goes dark and then goes light again, I need a new phone. I'm going to work on that next month. Okay, so just bear with me. I did buy a camera, but it only recorded for 13 minutes, and some of my videos have to be longer than that, and then putting it all together was just a problem for me. They also have the World and the Upright and the Hermit. So what this tells me is they are in the process of ending things in their life, and we're talking about self-worth. So they're in the process of ending control issues. They're in the process of, not being a people pleaser. Somebody who may have always had control, always told them do this, do that, and they were probably always a yes man or a yes woman. They couldn't say no. This is a person that they would allow them to, be treated any kind of way. Kind of like you, but you're further along on this self-worth journey. But they're just starting to say no to people. All right? They're just starting to cut out these karmic people and situations, because like I said, you will attract these kind of people when you're in that mindset. You'll attract people to help you stay in a negative place. So they're getting ready to enter their dark night of the soul. All right? They're getting ready to enter it. Now, there's something they need to tell you that they haven't. So, whenever this union happens, and like I said, keep in mind, keep an open mind about what union is. Sometimes a union is coming together, healing, talking about it, being friends, being mentors to one another, being loving and supporting. And if you really, if you think about it, or if you know much about twin flames, I've made a lot of my personal study about it, okay, especially in the last 2 years. And I'm not saying this is twin flame if you believe it or not. I'm saying divine counterpart, because this is what my guides call it. My guides don't say twin flame, they say divine counterpart. This is the person who is the perfect match. It's your own energy. But there is a secret that needs to come out. They haven't told you about it. It might be shocking. It might come out here. I don't know. But it's another thing that they have. They feel they have to bring balance and justice to the situation. That's how big this secret is. All right. And like I said, coming together doesn't always mean it's a hookup. It's a very beautiful merging of the self, the soul. And it's a very beautiful healing and nurturing process, because really, I don't think anyone will ever know you or be able to nurture you as your divine counterpart. But as an unhealed divine counterpart, actually, they're not any good for you at all. They can actually hurt you, and you could hurt them, okay? Just keep that in mind. I want to pull some of this wisdom of the oracle. I want to pull some for your side and some for their side. So, what do we have here for the collective, for their self-worth journey? And this is for the ones where self-worth is what's preventing you guys to come together, okay? On whatever level that it's meant to be by the divine. And some cards, please, for the counterpart, for the collective counterpart. All right, now, in the bottom we got soulmates. We got a union. When this self-worth healing happens, you guys will have an understanding, a conversation, a coming together, okay? In whatever way that the divine intends. Now, this was theirs, but it landed over towards your side. All right. All right. So we have here, we have time for a nap, we have imagine, and we have TikTok. All right. And we have the number 3, we have the number 20 or 2, we have number 24, which also can be a 6. So this is spirit saying you are healing, okay? You are healing. You're still in the healing process. You're still in the transformation process. Maybe even some of you are having some ascension. There are ascension symptoms. You can look them up. One of them is sleepiness sometimes, okay? But it's different. It's different than being like physically exhausted. It's just kind of like you want to take a nap, but you don't want to sleep all day. It's not that kind of thing. It's really spirit, how they get their downloads to you, okay? Chronic tiredness is not an ascension symptom. So you may be resting at this time and healing. The way I take it is you're healing, and that you're also manifesting good things, okay? That you're starting to think better about yourself. And this is another thing that sticks out to me. We have 2 moons. And it's almost as like if the way you were feeling before, it was very confusing, okay? A lot of clouded judgment, you know? And maybe your lack of self-worth was keeping you in the smoke and mirrors. Because look, it's like the divine looking down, the angels, whoever, someone from heaven looking down. Okay. And now we have here healing, because you are on your ascension, you are on your healing for self-worth, and look how clear the energy is. It's crystal clear, right? It's very clear. So that's going to resonate for some of you about the nap, about, maybe you were always tired, or maybe you were a little bit tired, but take it how it resonates. You'll know when you get downloads, when you sleep, you'll wake up with a fresh state of mind, or you'll wake up with it's like feeling an urge or need to do something, or maybe even write something down. But with this, I think that you're healing. You're in your healing. Okay, you're following your intuition. You're following your inner voice, your light, your own wisdom. And now your energy is clearing up. All right, you're not 100% transformed, but you are getting to that, because we do have the transformation card in reverse. But we do have the dark night of the soul. It looks like you're still in it. You haven't come out of it yet. It's a matter of time before you do. We have TikTok here. We have a matter of time before you're coming out of this, all right? On the counterpart side, they're hiding something, and they could be hiding a karmic situation, or they're hiding that they're greedy, or they're hiding something. It's something here that they're always going after the next shiny thing, right? We have number 16. It could also be number 7, but all that glitters, it's like they have the 3D world on their mind. And maybe they're starting to realize in their self-worth that self-worth starts from inside. I believe your counterpart is somebody who places their self-worth on all their material possessions. They got to have a nice car, a nice house. The person who is on their arm has to look GQ, beautiful or handsome, even if they treat them like crap. This person is all about how others view them. And like I, here, this card, all that glitters. To this person, it's very important that everything looks perfect in their life. But really, when it's like this, it is a mask. It's a mask. This is a person who goes after the worldly possessions, your counterpart. This is where they're at. They have a secret, all right? But just like with this, they do want to come correct. They do want to make peace and justice here. And no place like home. When it comes to counterparts, there are no place like home. And they are going to go towards the ascension, because you see this person is going up towards the ascension. If you can see that there. All right, so now that we've got that out of the way, we're going to go on to another deck here. All right, I want to see, I'm going to use the Osho Zen. Give me some energy for the collective. Wow, it's popping out quick. And yeah, it's weird. I said, it's confirming something I said here. I'm going to tell you in a minute. Give me some for the counterparts. All right. And just on the bottom of the deck, I can't make this up, we have 6, and we have what looks like twins. All right. Now, I had said there was something that was bothering with this Temperance in the reverse. It's like there's a piece of the puzzle that was missing, and look, we have a puzzle here. Someone's trying to fit that piece in, but it's just not there. And it's in the mind. So for some of you, collective, you just can't wrap your mind around something. But what I want to say to you is when you're dealing with your divine counterpart, the mind has no business. The mind has no business. It's a soul connection. But where the mind does play a part is in your self-worth, because apparently it's an ego thing. Whether you have too much ego or not enough, it's a mind thing. It's all mind. When you die, you don't take that with you. Your mind dies, your body dies, and your ego dies because it lives in your mind. Something isn't fitting for you, collective. There's a missing piece that you can't put your mind on it, but it's crucial that we find out what this piece is, because it is the last piece to your self-worth journey. You've done a lot of work in this self-worth journey. You've given a lot of love back to yourself, taken your power back, but there's something that there's like one last thing left to do. And I think it's really bogging your mind. Like you're probably a person who's like, you know, I do my meditations, I do my this, I do my that, and you know, why can't I move on, or why do I still feel this way, or whatever it is. I don't know. Leave a comment, because I'm just trying to read these cards here. But I feel like if Spirit was trying to say something to me, I think that the last part is that you think too much about the counterpart still. Like you've done a lot of things. But I think in your spare time when you're alone doing nothing, you're thinking about the counterpart. This is the Emperor. And this is like, to me, this is like it's not the Hermit, but to me it's like the Nine of Cups, kind of doing what you want. But I think what Spirit is saying, because we are talking about your self-worth journey, I think they're saying part of the last piece to this puzzle to healing is you're spending too much of your spare time thinking about your counterpart. And that can lead to toxicity. That can lead to going backwards in the journey. Now, again, this counterpart has ignored a lot of the guidance that they've received from Spirit, okay? Because this is an angel. And this is a person, you know, over here. Now, this person's looking away. Now, this person, I think what this card's trying to say, this person has been looking away, but I think they're now trying to come around, all right? It's reverse. And their self-worth journey, they were ignoring the signs. They're in the very beginning of waking up to this, the very beginning. We have, I feel like this is them thinking of you, because I relate this to this. They want to give you something, okay? They want to give you something, because there's a lot in their part of this reading that shows They want to make things right. They want to come towards you. They do want to be generous and give you something, okay? When they come towards you, they probably will have gift in hand, something in hand. But they are working on their ascension. They're not as far as you, but they are starting. Where they were ignoring, now they're starting. They're starting to talk to God. They're starting to talk to Source. Whatever they believe in, they're talking, and they're talking about you. They're talking about healing. They're probably talking about, why do I let people run over me? But I think they're talking to Source about you, because we have these two right here together. All right, so I'm going to pull some more cards. What's going on for the collective? Okay. And what's going on for their counterpart? All right, this landed on your side. It's contemplation and the reverse. This tells me they're done contemplating. They already know their goal is to come towards you. They already know that you're the one, okay? They're not contemplating that anymore. So that's on their side, but it landed to you, and I think they want you to know that. And on the bottom, there is a fresh start waiting. There's a fresh start waiting. Remember, this reading is about me channeling my spirit guide and saying that, well, union hasn't happened because of lack of self-worth, all right? Now, these two came out together, and I'm going to just let them be. We have a commitment, and we have winter time. Okay? We are almost out of winter. We have spring coming here in a couple of weeks. So maybe by next winter, that self-worth journey will be completed, and there's going to be a commitment. All right? And if you've been someone who's meditating, working on your chakras, or whatever you've been doing to heal, I feel like some of you, it's meditation, being the observer, being present in the moment. This is what's leading to your healing, and keep doing it. This is what's leading to your self-worth. I mean, I have a lot of cards here that would suggest, being alone and meditating. Look at them all. Look. So I believe I'm connecting with people, okay, who are healing through meditation, through prayer, through Source, through being present, or through nature even, okay, and through being alone. Now on your counterpart side, like I said, they're done contemplating. They already know their goal is to go toward you. They already know they need to heal. They already know you're their person. If they were in contemplation in the past, that's not how they're done with that. They know that. They see signs of you everywhere. Signs from spirit that they need to work on their self-worth. Okay, there are signs. Whatever it is, the divine comes through and can give you a sign through a song. Somebody could say, hey, why do you let them talk to you like that? I mean, signs are everywhere. Signs of you, and signs of their situation, and signs of what they need to change. They have signs everywhere. Look at all these signs. They get a lot of messages every day about what they need to do. And I believe that they watch you. I believe that you are their muse. I believe that maybe something you're doing that they know you're doing, I think that it helped them to get on board, right? If it's been your meditation journey, if you're on social media, if they're able to follow you in any way, I think that you are their muse, that they enjoy watching you, and I think that you inspire them to be better. And they are going to surrender. They've already surrendered. They've already started their journey of healing, because the Hermit is here. And the World card is here. They're already ending cycles and healing, working on healing to make things right with you. All right, I'm going to pull some messages on your side. These might have been things that led to your lack of self-worth. And on their side. On the bottom we have I miss you. And I take that as you both miss each other. Even if you both have moved on, I think deep down inside you both miss each other. Now, yours came out reversed, but I'm going to read them in the upright. So it says, I will find my way back to you one day. But because you're healing, you're not in that mindset anymore. Okay? You just know it. You know if it's meant to be, it will be. So you're not sitting there thinking of when union will happen. You've moved on to work on yourself, self-love and self-worth. So that's good that this is reversed. There was something interfering in our relationship. Well, this is a reading about self-worth, okay? You have to love yourself in order for this kind of union to happen. You have to love yourself, because when you don't, you're not going to attract the higher vibration situation. You're not going to attract your counterpart, okay? For some people who were with their counterpart and they broke up because you both attracted each other on a lower vibrational level. But that's why those unions don't last. Those friendships don't last. You know, however you're supposed to be in union, they don't last because the healing wasn't done. In this case, it's a reading about self-worth. You're working on your self-worth, your self-love. You're about done. This last piece to the puzzle for you, collective, is you're spending too much time thinking about the counterpart. In your spare time, you're thinking about them or watching them, and that, believe it or not, that's an energetic pull, and that is stuff that has to be severed and cut off. Not through cord cutting. You're just going to have to find something else to do with your time. In your spare time, don't think about them. Don't look them up, because you're energetically pulling, okay? Now, on their self-worth journey, this is what I was talking about, not feeling good enough. This person doesn't feel good enough for you. Well, these are one of the symptoms of lack of self-worth. They don't feel good enough. And they actually attracted a karmic situation that keeps them in that mindset. I mean, they were. Now they're cutting those out, okay? And you make me want to be a better person. I told you. See, I can't make this up. I just told you. They're watching you, and it's like you're their mentor. They see how good you're doing, and they want to follow. You see, I said that, and this card wasn't out yet. That's confirmation. And they check on you from afar. You both are doing either, you're thinking about, that's the last piece to your healing, is you're thinking about this person and they still do it. You guys are pulling each other energetically, but you must heal, okay? You must heal. Remember, it's your self-worth, okay? You don't have to sit there and think on someone and pull their energy to you, because you surrender. If it's meant for you, it comes for you. You don't have to run after it and chase after it. They're going to learn this too. You're going to watch when the healing happens on both of your sides with this self-worth. You watch how the universe brings you two together. You don't need each other's phone number. You don't need each other's social media accounts. You don't need each other's address. The universe, God, brings you together. You might be out somewhere and you run into each other. That's how it happens. So I'm going to pull a card from the Ancestors deck. I want to see what your ancestor guides want you to know for your side and for your counterpart side. And then we're going to close up this reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Comment. Don't forget to thumbs up, like, subscribe if you haven't. And if you have, thank you so much. You guys mean so much to me. You guys are the reason I do this work. Okay? You guys are the reason I do this. I've had many different jobs in my life, but this is my calling. I'm here to help those who need it. Anything else? Now, these cards are not meant to be read in the reverse, and I will not read them in the reverse. These are ancestor messages. Ancestors don't go back on what they say. They don't go backwards. On your side, collective, we have enjoy music, instruments, sound, and tone. This is a good thing to do instead of thinking about I don't say masculine, your counterpart. This is what you should do instead of thinking about the counterpart. Raise your vibration by listening to music and whatever you like. Listen to music and dance and, have fun with that. Reconnect with Mother Earth, plant, garden, and harvest. See, Spirit is telling you how to finish this last piece of the puzzle so you don't think about your counterpart. Connect with Earth, listen to music. That's going to keep your mind off of them. And I got goosebumps as I said that. That's going to keep your mind off of them. This is the last part of your healing and ascension. And all this is tests, okay? The divine will test you, okay? Divine will not send you what's meant for you until you pass the test, okay? You have got to love yourself at all costs. It's kind of the same for them. Move their body, go to a body of water for your counterpart. Dance, breathe, and flow. That's what's suggested for them because they're also having the same problem of thinking about you, but they also have more healing. They have more healing to do than just not thinking about you. They got to cut off these karmic cycles and go through the dark night of the soul and all that. Okay, they got to finish that. So their suggestion for them is to move their body, to breathe and to flow and embrace your inner gypsy, freedom, fun, and music. So kind of some similar advice here. Listen to music, flow, move the body, be happy. It's all about raising the vibration. Being sad, being upset, that lowers the vibration, and it lowers the vibration of mankind and the planet. You don't realize how you can affect everything in your world and in our world. Upskill, work, career, and crossroads. So they're being suggested to change work. There may be something that your counterpart does for a living that isn't good for them, that keeps them in a lower vibe. So they may be changing work. All right, you guys, that's what I have for you. I love you guys, and I'll do your reading soon. I'll do another reading. Namaste.